So welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking a look at Trustswap with some updates here. Over the next couple of weeks, going to go through a load of the bags I'm in that I'm super bullish on going into the next cycle, as these are ones that I believe have huge upside potential. We're talking $1 billion plus market caps, and they're currently priced at quite heavy discounts. But I'm reading the tea leaves and seeing a load of positivity coming from these various projects. So we're going to bring these to you over the next fortnight. So starting here with Trustswap, market cap just $63 million. We've talked about this on numerous occasions, and it started off as primarily a launchpad, but is really evolving into something a lot bigger. And the main thing that's really driving my attention right now is the crypto app that they acquired and the potential for that to be an absolute behemoth. So we're going to go into that today. And this is the reason why I think it can drive a huge valuation over the coming bull run. So in this kind of market lull that we're in right now, it's the time to start accumulating good coins for the long run at discounted prices. So currently 63 mil market cap. Circulating supply 78 million out of a max of around 99 million there and change, as they did burn a few coins. So most of the coins are in circulation. You're not going to get an Alameda dump on your head like we're seeing with huge FDV, fully diluted valuations over on Solana. So let's have a little look at the chart here for Trustswap. You can see the yellow line I've pulled up is support and resistance over, say, the last almost 12 months there. And this was an area previously acting as resistance here. We flipped it to support and we turned nice and bullish. We did break this more recently to the downside in February, and then we came down quite substantially here. We did break above in a temporary fashion, but weren't able to hold that line, and then we dropped down once again. But we have recently broken back through, and I would expect a bit of a retest of this yellow line here in the coming weeks. But if we just look at the chart, we can see this kind of ascending channel going on here for Trustswap. We've gone to the lows, then to the highs, back to the lows again. So this is something I'm really following closely with here to see if we do make a move back to the lows again. I'll be loading up with more tokens once more. And at the range highs, this may be a place that, if you are trading this, maybe you'd want to take some profits off the table here. And we did have this huge move as of late. So you can see from the volume profile down here, there was this green candle, which was nothing short of huge. So I had people actually texting me about this when saying, what is going on with Trustswap here? Did you see the bid that just came in? Pretty phenomenal stuff. So this took the price from roughly, I think it was about 70 cents, all the way up to around $1.30. So almost a doubling of the price from clearly maybe that's one player or a couple of players who have come in here and bid hard on the swap token. You can see people are positioning in this one, and I think there's good reason to be positioning in this one, especially when it does move to these kind of range lows. Whether we get to this kind of range low along the pink line, or whether we stop off here, find this as support and rally from here again, this all remains to be seen. But just mapping out the kind of mental model here, price-wise, and what I'm looking for. So I covered this probably like 5 weeks ago. And this kind of, the comments were quite negative, and this just speaks to the market sentiment. So this was when the price was around 50 odd cents. So people obviously in pain if they're holding this token and suggesting, why are you talking about this token? Well, you should be looking to accumulate and seeing the kind of deviation between fundamentals and price when things are down in the depths here. So at around 50 odd cents, I thought this was super undervalued. So I did put out a quite bullish video on Trustswap, and it has of course rallied since then, but you can see individuals in the comment section getting a bit narked by it, suggesting that, I was bullish at $2, now it's at 50 cents, kind of angry there, and also saying that they weren't delivering on their promises, such as saying they're going to be on a major centralized exchange. Well, news in this video because they just got a Bithumb listing. And then down here as well, trying to pump your bags, the Launchpad project time is gone, says this guy down here. So is that true? We will have a look in just a second. But essentially people are super bearish in the markets when we go to range lows. And if we just look at the overall fundamentals for the crypto ecosystem right now, things couldn't be more bullish, really. We're seeing all these huge catalysts on the horizon. Another one today, Fidelity to be the first major retirement plan provider, allowing investors to put Bitcoin in their 401ks. That boomer bid is coming. Now this should come towards the back end of this year. And this means, passive investment from people's retirement plans. Over 23,000 companies could be serviced here with this. This is just epic stuff, and this is what can spark the next bull run. We'll probably need to see a Fed pivot on policy as well at some point if things break over the next month or so. Some charts are looking a bit eerie right now, but you can see the fundamentals in the background are super healthy for cryptocurrency at large. I think Fidelity has like $4 trillion in AUM, so crazy, crazy stuff. And just to reference back to maybe one of the more recent Trustswap launchpads that's occurred is Legion. Did actually cover this one as well. I downloaded the app and played around with it. Got some neat games on there and stuff. So this one launched at 7.5 cents and it's up currently just over a 2x. It has been hovering around 17 and 18 cents over the last couple of days as well. This one was dropped on 4/20. It's now the 26th. So a good 2x plus on this one. We did only get 10% of our tokens so far. We'll get 15% of the next installment next month, around the 20th again. But you can see that even in this bearish period for the market, this one still performed a nice 2x here at a minimum, which is a pretty healthy return considering things. So if all the launch pads were going just straight down to zero, obviously things would be a lot more bearish, but clearly there's a lot of interest still in the market. And essentially, where else can you allocate your money right now? You can't really be looking to hold cash long term due to the inflationary pressures out there. So of course, crypto is the place that is attracting all the brightest minds. Trustswap also made it onto this AVAX daily post here over on Twitter. And because they're so multi-chain, they're getting a lot of reference across the different chains they're on. So for example, Polygon over on AVAX here, coming in as the top gainer over the last week, more eyeballs on this token. So positive stuff. I like the fact it's cross-chain. You want to tap into all potential markets that are out there. So jumping into this, so about the crypto app. So currently Trustswap swap token has 25,000 holders. But when the following integration comes with the crypto app and this all goes live, I think it's looking like maybe next month or the month after, well, Swap will then be the exclusive utility token, payment gateway, fee reduction mechanism, and yield booster for 4 million plus users. So my kind of hypothesis with this and what I'm trying to think ahead is, how can this perform over the next bull run? Tapping into an app with over 4 million downloads currently and taking your holder base from 25,000 potentially into the millions if they do get a good adoption rate. Or how they're going to do this, how they're going to strategize around this. Well, this is the kind of thing that gets you serious network effects. And if you can incentivize these users to want to hold the swap token, even if they hold just one each, it's going to have a little bit of an impact there. So this will put Swap at the center of one of the largest exchanges globally overnight, since there will be exchange functionality within this application. And as it has discounts to fees, etc., there's a lot of reasons to actually hold the token. And something I'm really bullish on is this, the fact there's going to be a huge booster to over 20% APY on staking coins once you hold the swap token. I think my head's in the way there. So you can get up to 20% APY if you're a hodler of the swap token. There's going to be like a tiered system, I believe, for that. So this is a good way to enhance benefits for higher tier holders, locking up more and more tokens. So super bullish on how this arrives and the kind of delivery to this. We're starting to see the first signs of what the UI are going to be like. So this is the crypto app's actual website. And you can see the slick color design here, the black, then these pop-in bright colors. I think the UI for this will be super, super neat. I've been using the crypto app for a while here, and I do like the way it works and the notifications I've been able to set up on there. Generally though, this is looking pretty sweet. And this kind of new website was dropped on the following date. So new website now live. This was on the 20th of April. And as soon as this dropped, I'm not sure if this is coincidence or not, probably not. You can see here this green candle on the 21st. So we have the new website up and running. Maybe people were waiting to see, or big investors were waiting to see, can these guys actually deliver a nice looking UI? Have they got their ducks in a row? Are they actually going to deliver on what they suggest? And maybe people were very bullish on what they saw. Hence we had this huge bid in here and someone's really filled a rather large bag. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I do believe someone has decided to bid on this token hard once they've realized, look, the UI looks good. They've already got 4 million downloads. There's a huge market potential to tap into over the course of a bull run if you can convert a lot of those users into holders of the swap token. You know, token economics 101, this means you can pump the price of that token. So I'm really betting on the fact here that Trustswap will deliver hard on their promises. We're also seeing this, so this is kind of a bit of a first from an altcoin here. So an altcoin project, these guys here over at Moonrock have decided to start accumulating Trustswap tokens. So they've accumulated around 13,000 or so right now, and they're aiming to get up to about 20K. So Moonrock, this is a DeFi project in its own right here, but they've started to accumulate the swap token as they see it as undervalued. I think this is pretty cool, and following in similar steps to what we're seeing with the Terra ecosystem, backstopping with Bitcoin reserves and also AVAX now, you're seeing another altcoin out there actually adding another project to their treasury in the form of these swap tokens. So it certainly feels that the crypto app is turning heads here across the DeFi landscape. You can see this on their BSC scan, they're still holding those 13.5K tokens. Now, centralized exchange listing confirmed here with Bithumb. So Trustswap now launched on Bithumb. This was announced on the 21st of April. So going back to the earlier comments someone made, they haven't delivered on their promises. Well, they have done now. So I would suggest this is a tier 1 exchange. It is one of the top 20 exchanges in the crypto space, as according to CoinMarketCap here, and it's South Korean based. Now, this is one of the biggest markets in the world. I think it is the 3rd biggest market, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's home to a huge number of traders. So this is a very good reason to be bullish on the Trustswap ecosystem. They're going and targeting these Asian markets here and seeing that there's a big gap in the market. When you've got an app that is easily translatable into other languages, I think the plan of action here is to get the swap token in front of these guys' eyeballs and then to get them to download the app once that is all live and kicking. So as they actually mention in the article here, this is targeting that Asian market, and they say that this is a South Korean exchange which is widely used, and this is a great strategic move to get Trustswap more accessible to a global market here. And typically what you see is once a project gets listed on one of the big exchanges, they can then get listed on other high tier exchanges as well. So this could be good in terms of liquidity of the token going forward. So again, eyes on that next bull run. Now, bringing things back a little bit closer to home, we have the next launchpad here in just 14 days time, and this one is called Ecorise, and this is a Trustswap incubated project. So Ecorise, a DeFi platform designed to unlock the value of natural ecosystems, incentivize ecological sustainability, and create a land-based stablecoin that can hedge against inflation. So this is part of their incubator program, so they're going to have a big hands-on approach here, and I will actually cover Ecorise towards the end of this week, so stay tuned for that. And it just seems highly innovative and doing something for the greater good here, as this is a DAO that will try to lock up at-risk land. So their plan is to add land to their DAO to then back their stable asset to the value of that land over time, and thus it will be inflation resistant. As we know, land, Bitcoin, things you can't actually inflate away, and over time they will outpace inflationary pressures. And this is the first land-based stablecoin asset that I've ever seen, so highly innovative, a real out there kind of project, and I think that this one is super interesting. So that's coming on the 10th of May. And they do actually have an AMA today around the time this video will go out. Probably worth checking in with this over on the Ecorise Telegram. And if you check out the form listed here, the gleam.io page, you can actually get a $500 allocation, as there's 10 winners of $500, i.e. 5K here, for Launchpad allocation for this one. So even if you're not involved in Trustswap currently in staking the swap token, you've got a way in here. So some really interesting updates in there, a huge centralized exchange listing, and lots of reasons to be bullish with the crypto app coming soon. So all eyes on this chart for me to see where we meander to next, potential buy the dip opportunities as I look to heavily accumulate this one for the long run, looking at the next bull market ahead. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, slap a like on today's video, drop a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.